What's going on, everyone? Hey, I wanted to make a video to talk about the completion of a very big project that we've been working on for the last, I think, 5+ weeks at least. And so what this is called is the MoveNow University Success Launch. Before I even get started with that, let me just tell you a little bit about where you can find out some more information about the program that we built and we've been adding to and refining and fine-tuning, and I'm convinced it's magnitudes better than anything out there. I don't even think anything exists like this as far as how to add an exercise department, corrective exercise, functional movement into your chiropractic practice, but not just how to do a movement assessment. It's everything. It's the communication. It's the day 1 through day 5 process in your clinic. It's a full-fledged practice management program, which is never what it was meant to be, but it's what it is. It's coaching, it's practice management, it's systems, and it all revolves around better clinical outcomes for your patients. So to find out more, go to demo.movenowu.com. So demo.movenowu.com. I put that in the description above. And I want to explain a little bit about why we built this implementation process and how it came to be. So I started this thing called MoveNow Inner Circle, and I chose, I think there was 10 or 11 doctors, about 11 doctors that are part of our program. Some of them newer, some of them been in it for a while, and they hadn't implemented as much as they wanted to. So I said, look, I'm going to have you all jump into this weekly training where I'm going to jump on for about an hour each time, and I'm going to help you step by step really get through all of this material in a methodical way and get you implemented. So I did this, and I thought, well, maybe it was going to take 6 weeks. Maybe it would take 12 weeks. Maybe it would take 16 weeks. And we ended up going for 20 weeks. And at the end, it was really just getting feedback and talking about different ideas. And the whole process helped the doctors who were part of it. Some implemented way more than they were at that point. Some participated, gave me some great ideas. But at the end of the day, it pushed me to say that what we were missing in our program, and it's a very complete program. It has every step of what you need to do. But what it was missing was the action steps and a timeline and kind of holding someone's hand to the fire and saying, okay, here's what you have to do by this date. Here's how you get it done. So the way my brain works, I'm a very methodical systems kind of person. So this makes sense to me, and I think this is going to really help a lot of doctors and their teams implement and get this rolling. And I ran this by a lot of people before we built it out, and I tried to make it simple yet meticulous. And that's one of the extreme dichotomies, is you want a plan to be simple, but you don't want it to be so simple that it doesn't do any good. It doesn't work. So here's what it is. I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you what we built. And how cool is this on a deadlift platform? Okay, I'm sitting here in my home gym. Check that out, belt squat machine. And I modified quite a bit. Did a lot of welding this weekend on this belt squat machine. That's a different story. But anyway, so here's what we did. First off, this document. There's 54 tracks inside the program. So T-minus 12 weeks is this guided weekly videos that go over week by week what someone should be training on. Ground zero is setting the precedence before you even start the training, getting the staff organized, making sure they have all the resources that they need, and then setting a launch date. Understanding movement is the next section. So we talk about just understanding why functional movement, how it fits in with chiropractic, why it's so important. Measuring movement. So then how we actually go through and measure movement dysfunctions. We have a level 1, level 2, level 3. It's called the MoveWall 3. It's our own invention of some of the best things out there. We borrowed from various movement screenings and assessments and made what I think works much, much better and quicker in a chiropractic setting. Corrective exercise is then all the corrective exercise strategies inside of our belt system of functional movement. Clinical implementation is then all of our systems that make this thing tick between the chiropractor, the front desk, the exercise department, and all the things that track exercise, program, motivate. The 12-week transformation, which is that one right there, track 44. That's a full online membership site that your patients get access to that has an exercise library and has weekly content that takes them through a 12-week process. So it's a transformation. It's not coming in as a patient to get chiropractic care, but it's a transformation. And so a health transformation. And then clinic operations, the schedule, day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, a funnel that we send out to people that we share with you, compliant fee schedule, and then objections 101. So 54 different tracks. Now on to this beautiful document here that took a long time to build. This is called the 12 Weeks to Success, the guide to launching your functional movement department in 90 days or 12 weeks. How this works, let me flip it open. We start off with a great quote by Jocko Willink inside of his book, Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual, about overcoming procrastination. I might as well just read this to you, especially if you're listening to this on a podcast or driving somewhere you can listen. So basically it starts off, and it says the first step will be to commit to your start date and then map out the training days and times for you and your team. So before turning the page, read this following passage and make your commitment now. Okay, overcoming procrastination. So people want to know how to stop laziness. They want to know how to stop procrastination. They have an idea in their head, maybe even a vision, but they don't know where to start. So they ask, where do I start? When is the best time to start? And I have a simple answer, here and now. That's it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You have to do it. And you have to do it now. So stop thinking about it. Stop dreaming about it. Stop researching every aspect of it and reading all about it and debating the pros and cons of it. Start doing it now. Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it here and now. Okay, that is thanks to Jocko Willink. Thanks, Jocko. So then here, we got this same document over here, next 12 weeks. And then we show it in a different format right here. And there's a couple pages actually that have been added since I printed this very, very first version. All right. And then, all right. Michael Miller, how's it going, bud? Thanks for joining us. All right, so then here we got ground zero. So ground zero, and I'm just going to read over this real quick. So this manual is your roadmap to success. In the following sections, you'll find all the resources that you need as well as specific action items for each step in the implementation process. Before you even start with week 1, you'll need to download and print all the various forms, flowcharts, and paperwork inside of the ground zero lesson. So there's a whole lesson that we have, ground zero. It's got all the different forms and things that we have in there. So you basically print all that out, save all those documents, and then inside the first section, T-minus 12 weeks. So basically, you talk about this main thing, assign an accountability manager, and then you're scheduling out staff training for the next 12 weeks. So how do you do that? Look at this. This took a lot of work to figure this out, but we built a very elaborate spreadsheet, and I actually calculated out all the time it would take in video lessons, in hands-on stuff, and that's broken down step by step, of course, but this is the summary. Time estimate per department. You have doctor, therapist, and you have front office. So we have 3 different departments in our clinic, and then on this chart, it goes from week 0, which is ground zero, all the way up to week 12, which is practice run 2. And what happens is week by week, we estimate out how many hours each department is going to have to invest to be able to get this program working by your launch date, which this other page next to it is staff training schedule. So let's say that you are Mary, the front desk girl, right? And you have a copy of this Success Launch Manual printed for you. And you're Dr. Jones, and you have your copy. And you're, someone else, Luke, in the exercise department. And you're a personal trainer, and you're training up to take over as exercise therapist. So all of you have a copy of this. And you all get together, and you look at, okay, doctor, therapist, front office. So you identify who you are, you see how many hours it is, and then in your own manual, you're going to write in from Sunday to Saturday what days, what times you're going to allocate the time needed to be able to get through the training. Okay, you're going to cross-reference this with these charts week by week. And so this process is going to take about an hour, right? But this is what sets the precedence for the entire 12 weeks, is committing on paper to a timeline of how you're going to train in this. So for example, I'll pick one up, week 6, all right? So this is where we go through schedule and day 0. So it talks about different things that you're going through, and then it breaks down. See, this is the first version. You see there's a typo there for collaborate. I handed this to Brandy, our office manager, and she proofed it before I uploaded this version. All these documents you see, these are like the 20th version, all right? So like there's a lot that goes behind the scenes of creating these documents. But so how this works, you have this here, and then you see how this is blue for week 6, and then you see how there's all these different colored diamonds. Well, those are for the previous weeks. So see, week 2, week 4, there's more diamonds. That one's red. Week 8 is green. You can see the green. So anyway, week 6 is the one that I'm showing you right now. So for week 6, it shows that we're going to be going through track 32 and 33. So it's finishing up the corrective exercise library for D7, D8, which is hip and squat dysfunction. And then down in clinical operations, we're going through the schedule in day 0. And then it's going to break down here exactly how much time. 3.45 hours for the doctor to get through the exercises, different videos and whatnot. Half an hour to get through the patient portal called the 12-week transformation. Well, guess what? The whole staff runs through this online membership site patient portal as if they are patients during this training process. This is a portal that all MoveNow doctors have access to. They create their own portal and they give their patients access to it, and that's how they reference exercises and they learn really more about natural health and healing. It guides them through this 12-week process called the 12-week transformation. During this training, this right here, the team begins the 12-week transformation. So week 6, the team starts the process and allocates just half an hour each week, if not a little bit more. So that's what's factored in there for that 0.5 hours, and then 1 hour practical. And then down here you have the exercise therapist, and it's all estimated out how much time it's going to take. And so it shows with them 0.8, 0.5, 3 hours. And then front office. Okay, and this is week 6, and then the week 6 summary is over here on this time estimate per department under the ground 0 section. Okay? So anyway, I'm just showing you how this thing's mapped out. You assign an accountability manager. That's the person that's going to whip everyone into shape if they start slacking. They're going to make sure that you guys have organized weekly meetings and that everyone's getting through the material that they need to get through. Because the doctor's usually really busy, so the doctor's not going to be the accountability manager. They need someone to hold them accountable. And then this right here, launch date. You've arrived. So you got to stick to that launch date. So then how the manual works, each week, those little diamonds talk about the different lessons, the different tracks. And so this describes how this whole thing works, this first one. So it shows basically a version of this for week 1 with the little green diamonds on it. It says where you are now, week 12, where you want to be. Okay, it explains how that works. And then we have getting started. We have mapping out your exercise area, ordering stuff so that you have all the equipment, materials you need, which is not a whole lot of stuff. Week 2, you go through the movement assessment. You start to actually practice parts of the movement assessment. Okay. And then, week 3, internal systems. And then also, now the stuff arrives that you ordered, so you set up your belts, bands, and boards in the exercise area. What our exercise area looks like, we show neck traction unit, mobility kit, the additional training on those things, the belt system, recommendation card, the rec card creation taken from one of our live impact events. So we uploaded those videos inside of the doctor portal, and you go through and you take notes on each one of those videos, which is the rec card creation, recommendation card. Postural corrective functional movement. We have study questions for this stuff. So like one of them, for example, a right arm leading half get up can address the following. A, right thoracic translation. B, right posterior thoracic rotation. C, both. Ooh, good question. See if we can answer that one. Building the financial manual therapy protocols, then week 4. So anyway, it goes through that all the way through 12 weeks. There's 103 pages that we ended up making in this journal. So there's a lot of stuff in here. It's really nice. I'm very proud of it. This is like my baby. It's been a lot of work. But basically, let me flip this around. Okay, so basically, the last thing that I'm not showing you on this video, but I'll talk about, is that there's also a video that I made of each week. So I made 12 videos, and each video is about anywhere between 9 to 15 minutes. Those videos guide you through everything in the week. I have a screen capture of the journal of all the assignments, and I go into the MoveNow University Doctor Portal, walk through the different lessons, talk about any sort of thing that I think needs clarification, and I go through that in those weekly videos. And basically each week, the staff, so front office and exercise department and doctor, they all have assignments. They all have a group get together, and they all have a workbook that they're filling out, or a manual, that we call it. We run through that for 12 weeks. You guys all have access to us inside of the MoveNow Chiropractors private Facebook group and other MoveNow doctors that can answer a lot of questions. And that's where you're letting us know you've started a success launch, and then we're here for you. Okay, so you have support for the whole 12 weeks. We just got a message from a doctor just recently joined a couple weeks ago. He's starting with his team tomorrow. So tomorrow is week 1. Awesome. All right. And new people who join, you basically jump on, you find out more about the program, you make sure it's a fit for you, we make sure you're a fit for us, and you join, you get started, you get access. Then you jump into the ground zero, you figure out, okay, here's how this is gonna work, here's the best time for us to plan to launch it, and then you plan 12 weeks in and you have a launch date and you set that launch date, and then you commit to it and you go. And we have everything in place to do so. One more thing that we built, and I finished this morning, is I wrote up 24 emails in a 24 email automation. So how this works, there's a little button inside of the doctor portal that when you're ready to launch and you say, okay, I'm launching, like today is launch day, now it's 12 noon on a Monday or whatever. You basically go to this spot, you put in your name and your email, and you hit submit. It triggers a 24 email automation of 2 emails per week that are going to remind you and point out key things each week. And in those emails, there's a button, and when you log in off that button, it goes straight into the doctor portal at that week directly to where you need to watch that video. And we do 24 emails for this for 12 weeks. Took a while to write all this. But the cool part about that is that email automation is not just for the doctor, but every single person on your staff is going to opt into that. So on your launch date, you're basically going to get all your team together or make sure you have all their emails, and you're going to just enter all their emails over and over and over again. So if you got 5 staff, 5 people go in there, everyone's getting emails, everyone's on the same page. That's your built-in reminder system. We tried to literally think of everything. We built a program that covered everything that we could think of to begin with. We even added 29 more videos, more training videos when we went through this, because from feedback that we got from going through this MoveNow Inner Circle that we did for 20 weeks, I took notes of all the little questions that were coming up. So I built out more trainings, more lessons. I am confident we have 99.9% of anything you could think of covered, and a lot of stuff that you didn't think of that we have covered, because we've experienced it and we've created systems and solutions for it. So anyway, I'm really excited about this. Comment below, ask some questions, check out our pre-recorded demo that shows you the behind the scenes inside of our doctor training portal. I'll tell you that pre-recorded video is from a couple weeks ago, so it doesn't include all the success launch stuff that I just put in there, but it'll give you a pretty good idea of what was in there. Now there's even a little bit more in there. But in 12 weeks, you can get this thing launched. So where there's all this talk about doctors thinking that they need to do something different in their chiropractic practice, and what they should do is like add like a medical integration or something like that, I would say, no, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Do something that's congruent with chiropractic, that's congruent with healing from the inside out, that supports what we do as chiropractors, that we can also do under our license, and stuff that assists in the specific adjustment, which is making sure you understand posture, and more importantly in this case, because this is what we're teaching, is movement, is the functional movement aspect. So segment, posture, movement is the model that we embrace and we teach, and the systems put it all together, and I feel like that's the most complete type of patient care that you can possibly give someone, and people are looking for it. Patients are seeking it out. They are thrilled when they come into our clinic and they find out that we have this comprehensive approach. As much as you think patients are busy and they want a quick 5-minute in and out visit, that's the extreme minority. Most people want a comprehensive approach. They will put the time and the energy into it. They will invest the time. So if an excuse you're hearing with patients is they don't have the time, it's because they don't have the value. They don't value what you're delivering because they just don't see how it's going to transform their life. They don't see how it's going to give them what they want. Now, I know in some rare cases there are people that actually have that much of a time constraint, but that's the minority. So the majority of the time is you're not really talking to their emotional why of like what drives them. And when you give them something comprehensive, a transformation, a 12-week transformation, that's what actually sparks up the interest. Okay, like to kind of limit this Facebook Live / podcast, however you're listening to this, that's the reason that gyms are so successful when they launch these different transformation things or these, like 12-week boot camps or whatever. It's because people love transformation. People don't want care. People don't want an adjustment. People don't want maintenance. They want a transformation. That's really what people seek out. So anyway, again, check out demo.movenowu.com. If you have any questions, you can comment below. You can contact us, reach out on Facebook, reach out on any other platform. Our website is movenowu.com, so all the contact info is there. And we appreciate you. We look forward to speaking with you, and we'll talk real soon. So there's a fly on me. Look at that. Flies in the winter. They want to come into a warm garage. All right. Anyway, over and out.